Check it out. CrownTVNews.com. Ghost Told You So. LOXD Block. Shout out to the homie Prince. Yeah.
I'm a big YouTuber.
I literally cover court cases for a living.
I'm gonna give you my ID.
I cover the court cases for a living.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Crown TV Courts, brought to you by CrownTVNews.com. Reminding y'all to go check out the website. You will find this document we're about to talk about today and many others like it. Also, news stories that you might not necessarily find on the channel, you will find on the website. Make sure y'all go check out the website, CrownTVNews.com. Let's get to the story of the day. All right, y'all. Now, I know I promised y'all this video earlier, like yesterday, but people have been sending me things that I've had to research. So that's kind of how I spent yesterday doing research. I always want to be accurate and correct about whatever I'm speaking about whenever I'm speaking to y'all. So I do put a lot of time into this. I wanted to clear up some things that have been the cause of confusion for a lot of people. You see a lot of people speaking about different charges that may not be on the indictment that they have. And the reason for this is that there are two separate indictments, at least as it relates to Star Brim. And this is for Star Brim only and Star Brim specifically. She is on two separate indictments. Both of those indictments came out on the exact same day. Both of those indictments are 5'9" Brim indictments. They both include other alleged 5'9" Brim members. Star Brim is the only one that is on both of those indictments. Now, one of those indictments is out of the Eastern District and one is out of the Southern District. The one we've been talking about, the one where she's facing up to 50 years, that is the Southern District indictment, and that is the one we've been talking about. Now, as for the other indictment that came out of the Eastern District, I don't think she's worried about this indictment nearly as much as the other indictment. This is the indictment that includes the assault on Jay and Batty G. For her participation or alleged participation in that assault, she faces a maximum of 3 years. So I think that's the least of her worries. I know both of these cases are real. I know both of the indictments are real because I've seen where she's been arraigned in both of these cases. So that clears that up. Nobody is wrong. We're going to cover that case, but we're going to focus on the big one for now. That's the 46-page, 24-count, 18 defendant indictment that she's facing up to 50 years for. Now, we are about to talk law. This is one of those videos that I was talking about. This is for the geeks. This is for people who want to understand the process. This is for people who want to know what, in this case, Star Brim is up against, what the prosecution has to prove, what this case involves, and things of that nature. We also talking about racketeering and why this is unfortunate that these people are being caught up in these racketeering cases that are not designed for them. These cases are designed for the mafia, people who are actually running rackets and making money off those rackets. These people are being loosely associated and charged with these racketeering cases, and they don't have the money to fight the cases because they are not actually making money off of these rackets. So a lot of people in this case have court-appointed attorneys, and that is very unfortunate for somebody to be in a racketeering case and not have the money for an attorney to fight it. So 24-count indictment. Star Brim is facing 2 counts in this indictment. One is for racketeering and the other is for maiming and assault in the aid of racketeering. Now, this maiming charge is a very serious charge. It's looked at as kind of savagery, causing injury to somebody that is life-altering. So that's why she's facing a max of 30 years on this charge. Slashing somebody's face, according to the law, is akin to cutting off a hand or a foot, where you affect that person for the rest of their life. So it's a serious charge. It carries more than the actual racketeering itself, which only carries 20 years. So that's what we want to get to, and I'm going to put this up on the screen for y'all. Now, this particular crime, this maiming and assault in the aid of racketeering, falls under an umbrella that is called violent crimes in the aid of racketeering, or VCAR, and you will often see VCAR in the place of the actual crime in documents, and y'all gonna see a lot of that as we move forward. Under this umbrella are the 6 things that you see on the screen, and you can see out of murder, kidnapping, assault with a dangerous weapon, threats of violence, and conspiracy to do any of the above, maiming falls right under murder as far as time served. So they look at it as a very serious offense. Like I said, it carries up to 30 years. Star Brim and 4 other people are charged in this count 10. 5 people for 1 slashing. It's the same event. In the case of Star Brim, she is accused of being the person who ordered it. And I want to put this up on the screen for y'all. This is the written law under Title 18, Section 1959. And it says, whoever, as consideration for the receipt of, or as consideration for a promise or agreement to pay, anything of pecuniary value. When you are dealing with pecuniary value, you're talking about anything that is worth money. From an enterprise engaged in racketeering activity, we'll talk about that in a second, or for the purpose of gaining entrance to or maintaining or increasing position in an enterprise engaged in racketeering activity. Now, this is what is referred to in law as the purpose element, because committing one of these violent crimes is not enough. In order for them to put you under VCAR, or violent crimes in the aid of racketeering, it has to be settled in a courtroom that you committed this crime for one of these 2 purposes. So that's why it is referred to as the purpose element, and it has to be there. So it has to be as consideration for the receipt of something of pecuniary value. Again, we're talking about money or some future promise or agreement to receive something of pecuniary value, or the second element, which is the one that we always hear, which is to maintain or increase my standing in this organization that is alleged to be involved in racketeering activity. And the reason why we always hear it is because, like I said, none of these people are doing these things for money. They have this other thing there that is going to trap people off every single time. Now, racketeering activity we could talk about all day, but basically racketeering activity includes almost every crime you can think of. So it's not much to think about. That's the best way to look at it. Almost any crime can be considered racketeering activity. So the last thing I want to talk about, and this is going to be most important in a courtroom, should Star Brim take this thing to trial, and that is the 5 things that the prosecution absolutely must prove in order to make a charge like this stick in a court of law. And the unfortunate thing is that out of these 5 things, only 2 have anything to do with what Star Brim is accused of. So let's run through these real quick. Number 1 is the existence of an enterprise as defined in Title 18, Section 1959. In layman's terms, for everybody out there, an enterprise can be defined as any group of people who can be associated for any reason. So you don't have to be in a gang, you don't have to be in the mafia or anything like that. If they can make a jury believe that there is an association between 2 or more people, that is an enterprise. The second thing is that the charged enterprise, in this case the 5-9 Brims, engaged in or its activities affected interstate and foreign commerce. This deals with crossing state and international lines. The key words in this phrase are the charged enterprise. So they don't have to prove that Star's crime had anything to do with crossing state and international lines. They only have to prove that the people that they are associating her with had activities that cross state and international lines. This is the problem, again, with racketeering. The third thing is that the charged enterprise engaged in racketeering activity as defined in Title 18, Section 1959. I told y'all that racketeering activity includes a slew of crimes. I might run them across the screen for y'all. The key again here, as with number 2, is it says the charged enterprise, not the defendant, not Star Brim. They only have to prove that the people that they are associating her with are engaged in racketeering activity, not Star Brim. Number 4 is that the defendant committed one of the following crimes. In Star Brim's case, that crime is going to be maiming, and that's pretty self-explanatory. This is the first time Star Brim's actual crime has been mentioned. Number 5 is that such underlying crime of violence was committed for either of those two purposes that we talked about earlier. So to reiterate, the bulk of the things that have to be proven in court in order to stick somebody up under this umbrella of violent crimes in the aid of racketeering have more to do with the people they are associating you with and the crimes that they are committing more than it has to do with you and the crime that you committed. And you have to remember, and this is important, that these could be people that you never speak to. These could be people that you don't even know. And we saw that in the case of Treyway with Harv and Shadi under the same indictment who were at war with each other. In this case, you have Little, who is the victim of the slashing, and you have Star Brim under the same indictment, both facing almost life in prison on the same indictment. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this video. Like, comment, subscribe. When we come back, we're going to talk about the racketeering charge. Make sure y'all check out the website, crowntvnews.com. It's the Crown Prince. Peace, y'all.